Premier Planet, it's your favorite MC, JB, Justin Barlow, here inside the Premier Studio in Woodstock, Illinois at 1230 Davis Road, where we just wrapped up what was an incredible night of action. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm hoarse from tonight. The energy was that intense. Even I got into it. I was even cheering for these guys like crazy. Here's what you missed if you weren't with us, and if you weren't with us here, tonight was a prime example of why you need to get out here to 1230 Davis Road in Woodstock every Saturday night. We started the evening with Premier veteran Texas Pete taking on 0-1, who last week got to see his friend 0-2 pick up his first win here in Premier Pro Wrestling. So a lot riding on 0-1 with this one because he wanted to be the next Zero to get his hand raised, but he had quite a mountain to climb. Now, Texas Pete, his in-ring experience, one would think, would give him the advantage in this one. However, 0-1, he pulled out all the stops. It was martial arts, it was submissions, it was a few underhanded tactics that everyone except the referee saw. But at the end of the day, it was Texas Pete who ended up taking home the victory in that one, using that experience and using that eccentric in-ring style to get into 0-1's head and finally pull off the W. Following that, this next one was freaking real. Matt Vine, Iniestra, number one contendership, no time limit in this one. And these guys utilized that stipulation to its full advantage. Since they didn't have to worry about the time expiring, these guys were able to pace themselves a little bit more and conserve that energy, and they released it in so many just unbelievable offensive flurries, one after the other, near fall after near fall after near fall. So many times the Premier Planet had to quickly hold their breath because they thought somebody was going to walk away from it with the victory. But at the last millisecond, the other person would kick out and the match would continue. These guys went for, I lost track of the time. Nobody was keeping track because there was no time limit. But I lost track of the time. These guys went a good 30 minutes, possibly 40 minutes, just back and forth. Everyone was on their feet cheering these guys on. Even Matt Vine had people cheering for him, which is a rare sight here in PPW. But, just so frustrating. This incredible match is going on. Matt Vine has Iniestra covered. It looks like he's going to get the 3 count and be crowned number one contender. And who shows up? Chase Gosling. And Chase gets into the ring, and he proceeds to attack both Iniestra and Matt Vine. So with this one, the referee has to call a no contest. So we don't even have a winner by disqualification, thanks to Chase Gosling, who's apparently not only playing mind games with the champ Scott Colton, but mind games with the entire Premier roster. I'm guessing this is all part of Chase's big plan that he keeps talking about, but we'll see where this goes in the near future. Premier officials have to decide what to do about this number one contendership issue between Matt Vine and Iniestra now that this match had to be thrown out. Following that, returning to action he returned to action last week in a surprise impromptu non-title match against Scott Colton, but returning to regular action here tonight was Ronnie Metro. Now, last week, he picked up a big moral win against Scott Colton in their non-title match, but instead of getting the result he thought he would, which was being able to just jump right to the head of the line and be next in line for a title shot, Premier CEO Randy Ricci said, no, it's not going to happen like that. You can't just walk in here, earn a victory, and then start demanding title shots. You're going to have to earn it like everybody else, and you got to go to the bottom rung on the ladder. And he started his ascent tonight by facing Irish Andy Anderson. Now, this was a full-blown roadblock because if you remember 1 week ago, Andy picked up probably the biggest moral victory of his career when he retired the Science Marcus Smith from Premier Pro Wrestling. Science went bye-bye thanks to Irish Andy, and their long-term rivalry was finally put in the ground. So Andy was on cloud 9 coming in tonight, but Ronnie with everything to prove. You'd think with everything to prove he would have his mind on the match. No, the Premier Planet, they start getting under Ronnie's skin, and he's paying more attention to them than he is to Andy. And Andy, just as Andy does, he's egging on the fans. He's getting even more so into Ronnie's head, and that gave Andy an early advantage. Ronnie eventually regained that advantage, and the two traded it back and forth until finally Andy was able to cover Ronnie, and he got the 1, 2, 3. But out of sight of the ref, Ronnie's foot was on the bottom rope. That didn't matter because the referee didn't see it, but that sent Ronnie into a fury, and he ended up just completely brutalizing Andy Anderson right in the middle of the ring after their match had quit. Once Ronnie finally decided that he had made his point, he exited the ringside area with one of those little bows, curtsies, I don't even know what it is. It took 4 guys from the locker room to finally get Andy back up, and when Andy regained consciousness, though, he started swinging for the fences. These guys cleared out of the ring. Andy Anderson, you can bet he's going to be out for blood in the coming weeks here at PPW. And then in our main event tonight, Chase Gosling, who weaseled out of his matchup with Scott Colton last week at the very last minute, was forced back here to the Premier Studio after being levied with a hefty fine. And Chase was just, like I said, he had already interfered once in the night. We were wondering what this plan of his was. He gets in the ring with Colton tonight. Colton is just, he's not giving an inch. I think Chase either underestimated Colton or overestimated this plan of his, probably a combination of both in my opinion. Colton showing once again that he is a fighting champion. He starts taking the fight to Chase, and this apparently forced Chase to kind of rethink his strategy. At one point, Chase goes out of the ring, grabs a chair, is making like he's going to use it on Colton. The referee gets it out of his hands, and then as the ref is handing the chair off to myself at ringside to get the chair out of there, the ref is arguing with me for some reason. It's just like, just give me the chair and get back to doing your job. You know, if I can be impartial here, ref. And Chase Gosling took that opportunity to grab another chair, and in the shades of the late, great Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, he gets in the ring and behind the ref's back, hits the chair on the mat, tosses it to Colton. Colton doesn't want to get hit by it, so Colton catches it. Chase quickly falls to the ground, and the referee turns around just in time to see Chase on the ground playing possum, going, oh, God, he hit me. Colton standing there going, no, I didn't hit him. But Colton holding the smoking gun, the referee decides that Colton did, in fact, hit Chase, and he calls for the disqualification, and Chase Gosling again beats the champ via disqualification. Now Chase doesn't win the title that way, but these mind games that Chase keeps playing with Colton, they just go on, and I, for one, I'm really starting to wonder how much Colton can take. Once again, Premier Planet, I want to thank you so much for coming out to support us each and every week here at PPW. Don't forget, 4 is the magic number. We are 4 weeks away from our biggest taping to date, PPW 100. You are not going to want to miss that one. Of course, I guess it goes this way. Anyway, you are not going to want to miss that one on July the 16th. July the 16th. I'm saying that slow. I'm saying it loud so that you remember. Put it in your smartphone. Mark it on your calendar if you're old school. If you like to hang a paper calendar on the wall, take a magic marker, write it in, circle it, star it, asterisk it, whatever you got to do to remember to get yourselves in here on Saturday night, July the 16th for PPW 100. And before that, don't forget to come down and give us a visit over the next 3 weeks as we finish our road down to that 100th taping, because as great as that night's going to be, we promise the action in here leading up to it, it's going to be phenomenal. You are not going to want to miss it. We're here each and every Saturday night for your viewing pleasure. Once again, Premier Planet, thanks for sticking with me here. Justin Barlow, while we do this post-show wrap-up, it's my honor, as always, to be your master of ceremonies here in PPW. We'll see you guys out here at 1230 Davis Road.